Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Anne and this is In Search of Wonder. And today we're not going to talk about the fact that it's June and I'm doing the March of the Mammoths book tag. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, so we are going to talk about it. Okay, so I was tagged back in March by book zealots with the March of the Mammoths book tag. And of course, it was coinciding with the March of the Mammoths book readathon, challenge, or whatever. I believe in that one, like you read books 800 pages or more, if I remember correctly. So that was a tag that was going around that I did not get to it then. I'm just now getting to it. But honestly, it works out. Side note, I'm terrible at tags. People tag me and I love it. And I'm like, oh yeah, this will be a fun tag. And then I don't get around to it. So I'm just now 3 months later. Anyway, apologies about that. And now back to the point of why it actually works out better. Well, not better, but it works out okay. Because in June, my challenge for the Reading the Classics challenge, or the prompt, is to read a book with more than 500 pages. On top of that, we are now in Big Book Summer, which is organized by Sue Jackson. And the point there is to read big books, at least 400 pages. So all of that together means that it's still a good time to talk about big books, mammoth books, whatever you want to call them. So let's dive into the questions on the tag. The first one is, are you currently reading a mammoth? And my answer is yes. And I have it over here on the table. Let me grab it. I am currently reading the annotated edition of Mansfield Park. And the annotated edition, if you include everything, like it ends at 800 something. But the actual story ends on page 850. So the actual story is only half of that because there are annotations on every other page. But 850 in the annotated edition. What is the biggest book you've ever read? And according to Goodreads, that is Les Miserables with 1,463 pages. And I think that's probably accurate. Although the edition I read most recently was this one. And despite the fact that this is a book that's more like to look at than to actually read, I did enjoy reading out of it. And this edition clocks in at 1,247, and they have like nothing extra at the end. That's the end of the story. So no matter how you slice it, it's a long book. The runner-up would be The Count of Monte Cristo, which is like 1,200 and some pages, I believe. What is the smallest book you've ever read? That's a lot harder to quantify. I mean, what do you include? Do you include children's books? I mean, I've read plenty of board book in my life. Those are what, 10, 12, 15 pages. I've read short stories. Short stories are between 15 and 20 pages a lot of times. I've read novellas. Those are short. But I used Goodreads to see, and I came up with, besides if I take out the children's books and the short stories and the novellas, the next one was The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness by Timothy Keller, which was 46 pages. And that was a short book, but very powerful. So I highly recommend that as a great short read. Question number 4, is the size of a book intimidating? And it can be, but there are other factors as well, like the era in which the book was written. The older the book it is, the more intimidating it is because you have to work through the older language, which is a little bit harder to do than just to read. Like, you know, a modern book that's 500, 600, 700 pages, it doesn't take as much mental stimulation as the same size from the 1500s, right? So I would say the era in which the book was written makes it more intimidating in the language that is used, and also the subject matter or the topic would make it more or less intimidating for me. 5, is size a consideration when deciding what to read next? And yes, at the beginning of this year, I wasn't really thinking about the size of books as I was putting them on my TBRs, and it just worked out that I had, I mean, obviously I noticed that I had larger books, but they were commitments for a variety of things. And so I just, went for it. But I got really bogged down by it. There's just something about completing something, like being able to check it off your list that, I don't know, it's just psychologically very satisfying somehow. And that's the thing where I get bogged down. If I'm reading, because I'm normally reading 2, 3, maybe 4 books at a time. And if they're all long, I may be enjoying each one of them individually, but I get frustrated by the fact that I can't cross them off my list because I haven't finished them yet. And because I'm reading multiple books at a time, it takes me even longer. Like if I'm just focusing on one long book, it might take me 2 weeks to get through it. But because I'm reading 2 or 3 or whatever, then it takes even longer. So psychologically, it's a whole thing. I like to have multiple books going, but I like to be able to cross them off, and finish them. So I find it's a good balance to have one longer book in progress and then some shorter books that I can read more easily. Number 6, how many pages is the book you are reading now? Well, I am currently reading Mansfield Park, and so that is 850 pages, as we said. I'm also reading Shiloh by Laurie Benton, and I think that one is over 400 pages. Not 100% sure about that, but I think so. The previous book in the series, Mountain Laura, was like 450 or 460. Something like that. So decent size of a book. And I think this one is similar, but it might be a little shorter. And currently, those are the main books I'm reading. So I haven't picked up another one yet, but those are the lengths. Number 7, what is the average length of the books that you read? And it changes with time and season. It's not a consistent thing per se, but I looked on Storygraph. And for 2024, my average page length was 292 or something like that. And then this year so far, it's like 340. So I would say it's safe to say somewhere between in the low 300s is probably my average of page length. Do you think humans will bring back mammoths? Now this goes with the March of the Mammoths theme. And I mean, they're actively working on it right now, right? Although I have to admit, I'm very skeptical of the whole process. I'm skeptical. I'm a skeptical person, so very skeptical about all of it. I'm skeptical about the whole dire wolf thing that was earlier this year. Skeptical about all of it. And that goes along with the next question. Do you think that they should? I think humans should not do a lot of the things that humans do. Okay. All right, number 10, tag some people. So this tag is really, it's supposed to go with March of the Mammoths, so this is really late. But if you are still wanting to talk about reading big books, you are reading Big Book Summer, and you want to join in the conversation, consider yourself tagged. And if you didn't get to it in March, consider yourself tagged. I am also going to tag Cheryl at Candlewick Library, and I'm going to tag Summer's Moving Bookshelf because she just recently made a video about her journey this year with some big books that she is reading, so she might find it fun to do this tag. So there you have it. Those are my answers to the questions, and I will see you next time. Bye.